Hey everyone, I wanted to make a boss guide for every single mutated boss in Dead Frontier 2 right now, as there are about 5 of them that I know of. I've only encountered 3 of these, and beaten 3 of them. The remaining 2 are the Tendril from DF1 and what people are calling the Titan. It's not the Titan from DF1, don't worry about that. It's just the name that I think people have come up with for it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do guides for every single one. The Titan probably will be able to do one on. The Tendril, I don't know. There's a 28-minute gameplay of like 5 people trying to beat that thing, and it took them that long to beat it. So I ain't got a clue if I'll be able to do that by release or what. I don't know, but I think starting out small is best for this. We probably won't be able to, we'll probably able to get the main 3 that I know of down before release, but we might have to wait until afterwards for the other ones. The boss I'm going to be covering today has been called Multi-Head by one of my subscribers. I ain't got a clue if that's the actual name. And I believe another name for it is just Choir. So I'm going to go with Choir because that sounds easier to say. I don't know, I just prefer that. This boss can be found in level 10 zones such as Havokbrook, and like the other mutated bosses, has a special ability. The Choir has a large amount of health, significantly more than the standard mini-bosses. So the Choir's special ability: every 15 seconds or so, the Choir will let out a loud roar that will stun and deal roughly 10 damage to your character. As of right now, there is no way of countering this attack. The gear I'm going to be using for this boss is the Parabellum, don't know how to pronounce that weapon, but it's basically a level 10 pistol. I'll put stats on the screen. And the Washington 1100 or 1100, what you want to call it, which is I believe a level 5 shotgun. Once again, we'll put the stats on the screen. For these boss fights, it's a very good idea to bring 2 weapons because you're going to need a lot of ammo to take these things down, and you may run out, so having 2 weapons with different types of ammo is very beneficial. The stats that are probably most important in this that I'm currently using, although this really does depend on what kind of player you are and what build you're going for. The stats I'm using is Kickboxing 2, Sprinter 3 and Marksman. In no way do you need the tiered up versions of these stats. You can just use the standard Sprinter or Kickboxing. Kickboxing is more or less with the zombies. I've never actually tried to kick a boss. I don't know if it actually knocks them back or anything, but I think it's a good ability just to get the zombies out of the way, because the zombies can be quite annoying during these boss fights. And Marksman is simply there just so you can get quicker aiming on the boss and more accuracy. Sprinter is simply there just for when you need to run away from them, because obviously you don't really want to get slapped up the arse with these things. They're pretty dangerous. As for supplies, the problem with this boss is that every 15 seconds he will basically deal 10 damage to your character, so it's more of a test to see if you can outlive the boss in ammo and health. So for ammo, I would bring at least 50 bullets for every single weapon that you're planning to bring with you. So I think I had like about 50 shotgun shells and roughly 60-50 bullets in my pistol, which was just enough to take him down. I really would suggest bringing as much ammo as you can, because we still don't really know the amount of health points these things have, but it's definitely not small. So I would definitely keep that in mind. These guys have crazy amount of health. You will want to bring enough ammo to deal with them. As for health is very important, because obviously every 15 seconds you're going to be losing 10 HP, which is not fun. So I would bring as many high healing items as possible, such as first aid kits or travel med kits. I don't know, but they're called like travel first aid kits type thing. Anything that does at least 20 something HP is useful. You can use anything you like, but as long as you have enough inventory space to store that and you use them as much as possible, then you should be good. I think the best stuff is the high healing, just so you don't have to constantly be trying to heal yourself multiple times, because obviously they do catch up with you fairly fast, especially something like the Tendril. I'm not even going to go into that. So yeah, keep that in mind. This boss does not sprint either, so you will have a bit more breathing room between him. And with all that said and done, I think we can just get into the boss fight. So let's go. Alright, so basically, as you hear right then, he started roaring, and that does deal a little bit of damage and also stuns you. So you really want to be careful about that. I think, like, in terms of all the boss rooms, this is probably the luckiest boss room I've gotten. A lot of the other ones have been very, very claustrophobic, so I got very lucky here. You probably will get a bit of a smaller room, but in the case that you do, just don't be too intimidated by it, because surprisingly enough, you can outrun these guys and, you know, go past them, and in a lot of cases they won't hit you, as long as you have a tiny bit of distance between you when you're running past them, whether it's the boss, the zombies, whatever. But make sure you deal with all the zombies you can, because they can suck up a lot of your ammo and get on your nerves, especially the ones that run, vomit, and everything like that. They're not nice. They're just not. They're annoying as hell. I would use something more accurate than the shotgun, like I'm using right here, to deal with them, because, you know, it's a lot more accurate. It deals with the zombies easier. Keep an eye on how many times he's roaring, and as soon as you see the yellow med icon come up in the bottom left, that means you're on half health, so keep that in mind. As you see there, I just healed up just a bit to stay on top of it. And once you've taken out all the zombies, the goal is to just shoot the guy in the head as many times as you can. I'm not sure if there's any massive weak spots on any of these guys. I think on this guy it is just shooting the head, because there is headshot damage on these guns, and I think it affects everything. So that would be my my little guide for what you should be aiming for. On the Mancubus boss, as I call it, some people are calling it the mother boss, basically the fat zombie with like the baby on its stomach. I don't know if there's a weak spot on its stomach or anything like that, so I have no clue. We'll have to see. But I actually recorded this gameplay last night before I went off to bed. I thought, you know what, I'm going to see if I can get some gameplay for a boss guide, and this is what I came out with. And I'm kind of glad it was the multi-head, or the choir, whatever you want to call it. I'm glad it was this guy, because it's what I was going for. I want to do it more chronologically, because this is realistically the first mutant you will face. I'm not sure if it actually is set in stone what one you will face first, or whether it does depend on, you know, how many you face. Because I faced this guy first, then I faced the Mancubus, and then I faced the what people are calling Fingers. I'm going to call it Fingers. Well, I faced then Fingers, which basically is the one that blinds you. So, and then the next one I faced was this guy again. So I don't know if it really, I don't know if it just sort of, I don't know if it's randomized or whether it is quite a set in stone system. But this is the guys that you'll find in level 10 zones. So, as you can see, I'm on half health there, and I'm just looking for a first aid kit. But I decided to not use it, and the reason for that is because it does 70 HP when I've only got 40. And right now I'm going to use it because I just lost 10 HP again, which basically puts me back up to it without wasting any HP from that heal there. It's a very good idea to stay on top of all that. But this is basically the tactic you want to just keep going for. Just sort of train them around the room, sort of like Call of Duty Zombies, and just shoot them in the head, really. It's very, very simple to deal with. I'm kind of annoyed there's no way to counteract his attack on you when he roars, because, I don't know, it's just kind of annoying. You know, you want to be able to go in there without having to tank loads of damage. I guess the only way to counter it would be to kill him really quickly, but there's not a lot of way of doing that without being really risky about it, or having a much better weapon. Oh yeah, and I'm also level 10 in this video. I think I first faced him when I was level 8, so you definitely could pull it off on level 8. You could probably pull it off on level 5 if you were lucky. Well, maybe not even lucky. I think you could probably pull it off on level 5. Just because it does say level 10 recommended. It's not always required, really. I think like by the time you get to level 10 is when you should start looking at level 15 areas and stuff like that, really. I think the game kind of encourages exploration, really. It's one of those kind of games where it's like, yeah, it's better to go there when you're this level, but, you know, you might, your exploration ticklebone might just kick in and say go to, like, Lower Burrow or something like that. Speaking of Lower Burrow, I ain't got a clue when I'm going there. Well, Lower Burrow, more like level 20 areas. I don't know when I'm going to a level 20 area. I've already been to one. Ignore my awful shotgun aim here. That was atrocious. I'm not sure when I'm going to a level 20 zone. I went there yesterday in my live stream and it is chaotic. So I might wait a little while before doing that. But yeah, as you can see, the sprinters are a bit annoying. But just try to deal with them as fast as possible without getting snuck up on by the boss. So it has quite a lot of health. I'm not entirely sure how much. I think it has something like 300, roughly 300. And there you go, took him out like that. So, you know, if you just stay persistent with it, have enough healing items, you should be fine. I want ammo of course. I was left with 24 bullets, or shells, in my shotgun, so it does take quite a lot of damage. And I got some awful woolly gloves, so that's nice. But yeah, I think the boss fights are really interesting sometimes, and I don't know, I think I wanted to do the mutated bosses first, because the mini bosses are quite generic. All you gotta do is just shoot them in the head. They don't have any special things other than maybe vomiting and sprinting at you, and even then it's not that big of a problem. But the mutated bosses are really interesting, and I think they're worth a look and a guide. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. It's a fairly easy battle. Just make sure you've got decent stats. You don't need the sprinter, well, let's say stealth. You don't need sprinter, kickboxing, and marksman. Those are just my ones I would advise. Sprinter is probably the most important, just because you may get caught in situations where you need to get a quick escape. So sprint is very useful for that. But in another sense, you probably could use kickboxing to get rid of some of the zombies. But I don't know. I would suggest using sprinter for the most part. Marksman's very good for just quickly locking on to the zombies and getting better accuracy, especially fingers, because fingers blind you, which will be another video hopefully. I don't know when I'll get the other videos out. Really depends what come up against first, because making these guides is not easy. It takes quite a lot of planning and stuff. So hopefully you enjoyed this. If you want me to do more, leave a like on the video. I don't care, I'm going to say it now. Leave a like on the video if you want me to do more. Let me know if I missed anything in the comment section. I'm pretty sure I got mostly everything, unless there's a weak point on his body that I didn't know about. But yeah, I thank you for watching. Really appreciate all the support on the channel recently. I'm incredibly motivated to do Death Frontier stuff now, and it's great. It's really good to see the support, and I really do appreciate it. So thank you to everyone. I will be likely doing a live stream when this video goes up. Not as the video goes up, but like a little bit after the video comes up. I'm not entirely sure. Depends when it goes up. Hopefully within an hour of me recording this. Hopefully. But yeah, thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next video or guide, whatever the case may be. And hopefully I'll see you in some of the live streams. You know, I've been having a lot of folks on there, and it's been a great time. So